In this video, I'm going to show you how to take repetitive melodies and make them work and basically transform them into something more interesting. This is a strategy I use quite a lot when I'm trying to come up with a nice melody. I found it works very, very well, and it's really easy to get a good result going. So what I'm going to do here, I've just opened up a saw patch. I'm just going to put down some notes. Just two notes that I know work together, and I'm going to drone these out so they play for a really long time. So right now, this is about as repetitive and boring as you could get. There's literally no change. But what I do from here, and it helps if you have a nice little patch that's nice to listen to rather than just like default saws. Something like that would be nice. Now, what I like to do is I have two steps. First, I like to contextualize this by writing a bass line. You'll find that these two notes can stay the same, but the feelings that it will invoke are completely different depending on your bass choices. So let's just kind of go here and see what we come up with. So I think starting on an A would be nice. That could be a good little progression. Let's get that down. And right now we're nowhere near done. This is still pretty flat and boring. But once you have this, it's really easy to transform this. Let me show you something. So a really good strategy is to come up with a rhythm that will use these same two notes, but have the bass in those play at different times. That's kind of hard to verbalize, but let me show you what I mean. I'll throw on a metronome for this as well. And we have this come in. Just with that little bit done, you can kind of see what I'm going for. I'm just coming up with a rhythm that this is going to follow. So it's going to like bass note, then have that come in afterwards and so on. And it's going to change slightly to keep it interesting. Sort of changed the thing in between here to do this little skip up. Much more interesting. So now so far I've just kind of written this bass line to go underneath this, and I haven't changed this. This is still that same repetitive kind of chord stab it's got going on. So though I'm not going to keep this just like that, having the bass line changing while this stays the same is enough to make this much more interesting. Something I like to try from here is taking the top and messing with the voicing. Sometimes this sounds better. In this instance, I don't think it sounds better. We could instead try moving the bottom up. I think that could be more interesting. And from here, I like to do little one-note variations to make this change at a specific point. So that way you learn that it's going to do that and you anticipate it. So let's hear what sounds natural. I think that might be cool. And from here, you could just mess with adding in different notes at certain sections when you think it fits nicely. That might sound good. I think that's a little too much, so that's much better. Suddenly, we started with those two notes that were the same all the way around, and now we have enough complexity to make this something cool. And from here, it's all about post-processing to make it just a hair more interesting from here. So right now, there's not a lot going on there, so we're just going to try to spice it up. I like to use disperser for some pinchiness. Makes the tone a bit more interesting, but the big thing that you're going to have is like a delay. This adds a lot of complexity to something. So for example, just default. Listen to that. Or if we do like ping pong, so it gets really wide. That's pretty rich. From there, I think maybe throw on some reverb. Put this in a space, and then I'll do a compressor. Bring it down quite a lot before we even hear it, because I know it's going to be a lot. Something like this. I think that's now something nice and vibey that you could start a song to. I actually followed this strategy earlier this morning and put together something. I'm going to open that so you could see how it became. So let's open up that project right now. There's not a lot going on here. It's mainly just an intro. I did a sketch of a drop, but really we're all about this. These are the 2 notes that I started on. Literally just starts like this. And then I contextualize it with a bass line, which you can see here. Like it's promising something to come here. The drop does not deliver yet, just fair warning. So like we could introduce that lead over this or something. But all that started with just those 2 notes that sounded nice together. So it's that easy to put together a melody that becomes more complex if you start it in that really easy, even repetitive way. Let me know if this video helps you out. I think this should be a good one. And I'm curious to see what you guys do with this. Let me know in the comments below. Drop a like if it helped you, and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.